Okay, we have here our sentence, which I'm going to parse for you as a way of demonstrating prepositional phrases. The dog of the priest ate the chicken of the headman when he fell with grace under the bridge. Now, we have here as our central... coming back here. And then we have yet another prepositional phrase here. Clear?
I don't even know, man.
So what is your advice to students?
My advice to students, there's 3 keys to success in education. Flattery, bribery, and agree with your teacher at all cost.
What do you like so much about stories?
Stories are actually, they're unique things. Only humans make stories. It's a marker for the species. And there has been, as a student of mine said, an eternal conversation between authors that's been taking place in literature. And through stories, you can access that conversation. And in that conversation is all the wisdom of the human race. Knowledge comes in textbooks. Wisdom comes in novels and poems.
Are you human?
Well, I kind of became human for the second half of my life.
What do you do when you're not teaching English? If you had 5 minutes to live, what would you do?
I think I would want to mark an English essay. Because if I'm marking an English essay, it feels like it lasts forever.
What is your favorite book?
Oh, hands down, Treasure Island. Jim Hawkins, Israel hands up in the rigging. Jim Hawkins looks down and says, "One more step, Mr. Hans," said I, "and I'll blow your bloody brains out."
Do you sell bodies on the black market?
Why? Are you hungry?
Go in peace and do no harm. Hello and welcome to the second episode of Dilly Dallying with Mr. Dailey. At the beginning of the year, we asked you to ask questions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Twice, I think.
On Twitter for this guy. And we're going to answer them. And there's... Yeah. At Your Mom 8 asked, why?
Oh, the answer to why is obvious, it seems to me. Why not?
At Lomhow1234 asked, how many books have you written?
5.
5?
5.
5.
Full novels, not including short stories and poetry.
What is your favorite band/musician?
To understand the musical sensibility that I have, you have to understand that I came originally from a rock and roll tradition. The Rolling Stones, the Who, rock solid rock and roll. But then the Beatles came along and they made pop music. And it got really expensive, it was really good, they made tons of money, everybody imitated them, and no one could play as well as they could. So you end up with like the Bee Gees being rockers. And then came Sid Vicious and Johnny Rotten, and they changed everything and put the passion back in rock and roll where it belonged.
Are you a member of the Illuminati?
Probably not.
Do you believe plants have feelings too?
Of course they do. It's my favorite part of being a vegetarian. There's nothing quite like steaming broccoli or Brussels sprouts and knowing the agony that they writhe in at the bottom of my steamer. I can feel my asparagus giving up its very shape and falling apart into shreds because of how I'm cooking it, and somehow it just is so satisfying to do that to vegetables.
Who do you think is the most attractive member of One Direction?
The most attractive member?
Yes.
This would be a real easy question to answer if I had the slightest idea who One Direction was.
Are you a hipster?
I'd have to say, actually, rather than being a hipster, I'm more sort of a belly kind of guy.
If you were to change your name, what would you change it to?
Oh, I'd like some Old Testament number that you can really kind of get your mouth around, like Ezekiel Hebediah. That's what I'd like to be, Ezekiel Hebediah. Just because it's such a great name. And I've never known a Zeke who wasn't a cool person.
If you were able to morph into an animal, like some kind of animal/English teacher transformer, what would you transform into?
Be a honey badger, because Stitch is a honey badger. And I would want to be just like Stitch, right? Mr. Bubbles, the aliens are attacking my house. Oh, no problem. My dog has the chainsaw. That's the kind of animal I want to be.
Are you all about that bass?
Oh, I am so about that bass. Because I'll tell you why. You gotta have a bass. If you don't have a bass, you can't have a pinnacle. If you don't have a bass and a pinnacle, there go the pyramids. Okay, so I mean, I'm really the bass. I'm very basic on basses.
Do you have any words of wisdom for our last broadcast of the year?
What I would really, I think, most like to suggest to students that they should do to completely improve the quality of their existence from now until the very end, floss. Take care of your teeth. There's 32 packets of potential agony in there just waiting to go off. So you gotta take care of your teeth. It's really important. Design flaw. Kind of like knees and live birth that way. But those are other issues.